I wonder if Karl's going to be on time today because Stuttering John is supposed to be on Misery Loves Company.
Yeah, he was doing that live when I was texting with him. So.
Oh, he was doing that. So John was really on.
Karl was on. I don't know if John was. I don't know. Besides,
what were you watching it?
No, I just texted him. I went because he hadn't replied, so I wanted to make sure he got it. And so he said, "Yeah, I'm on MLC right now," but I just emailed the clips.
Yeah, these guys drove John out of podcasting. John tried so hard to get Karl's stuff taken down.
Yeah.
Off all these places because Karl was using transformative content of John's, and John kept saying, "No, it's a copyright violation," and they kept disagreeing, saying, "No, it's not a copyright violation." So he tried everything to get him taken down. And then when Shuli jumped in and started doing, Shuli basically made a whole show out of making fun of John.
Yeah, but John was kind of asking for it.
He was. I thought he was asking for it from Karl. I don't know about Shuli, although Shuli claims there's some.
But he didn't talk shit about Shuli from working with him at Stern.
Yeah, I think there was some of that. But Shuli's done like 120 episodes of it now, talking shit about John.
It's a gift that keeps on giving.
Except it was kind of Karl's thing. I mean, that's how I feel. Karl always disagrees with me. I don't know if I believe. I want Karl put on a lie detector when he disagrees with me.
Well, I'm sure he wasn't happy about it, but what are you going to do?
But anyway.
What are you going to do besides do it better?
So John's driven. John says, "I'm not podcasting anymore." So he thinks he's going to starve these people because they have no content. But the problem is he has years of content to use.
You're going to punish yourself by punishing the other people?
He wasn't making any money.
I know, but still. The idea,
it was funny.
He will never admit that he wasn't making money.
No, it was one of the funniest and strangest things I've ever seen in the world of entertainment, but it happened. And so he's been gone for like 8 months.
Yeah,
he hasn't done a single show.
No, he was driven off podcasting.
I wonder what he's doing now.
Substitute teaching.
The losers.
Summer, was he substitute teaching summer school?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not really as up to speed on all this as some other people are, but
from Drew and Mike, who I don't know.
So then Karl offered him money to come back just for one show.
That's awesome. That's great.
Pay him like $2,000 up front.
Yeah.
And then another $2,000 after the show for one stupid show.
And that money could have gone to, that super chatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, that beloved super chatter.
Yeah.
It's funny, Scott, because you and I have never heard of Drew and Mike.
God. And then John jumped ship and decided, they broke the deal. I'm going on with Misery Loves Company. And so Karl was going to be invited on Misery Loves Company, which is pretty cool. So Karl ends up not having to pay anything, and he gets invited on. How does that work?
Yeah.
John tries to outsmart somebody again.
He was trying to outfox everyone.
Never. I wonder if do you think he's ever outfoxed somebody before?
No, I know.
It doesn't seem like
I am not afraid to sue.
Stop trying to outsmart people.
When he used to taunt celebrities with stupid questions, I guess he did. Although he wasn't really the brains behind it.
No, he was just the mouthpiece.
Interested. I see Karl is still on Misery Loves Company.
Yeah, I pulled it up, and John's on there. So he is. It looks like he's arguing with John right now.
John looks angry, by the way.
Good. In Rochester, I guess you can. But I'm just telling you that's why I had to do it. Every other house I bought was in my name.
Let me read some super chats.
What do you mean Rochester?
Does John really think
the armpit of the world? How can you be proud of living there? It's a shithole.
Do you like photography, John? Invented here.
No, I like photography.
You guys
Karl is just laughing.
I know, because it's so stupid. He knows how dumb it is. It looks like John's got a really nice new pad, though. Look, he's way up in he's got a penthouse. He's got a great background.
His Stuttering John, in the last while I was taking a look at the corner of my eye, he looks very upset. Karl looks cool as a cucumber and smiling.
Yeah.
And Kevin Brennan looks like, what the fuck did I pay for here? And Bob Levy looks, I don't know, I don't see Bob saying much at all.
Yeah. No, it's mainly John just yelling.
Although there are super chats. John, did you cause Brent Hatley to leave when you left him the voicemail about wanting to kick Shuli's ass?
Ooh.
Every one of these stupid fucking things. I don't even know who Brent Hatley is. Well, I know now that
John doesn't know anyone.
True.
Well, now I do because he fucks his wife on camera. I don't know.
Oh, come on.
Other people fuck his wife on camera, but yeah.
How does all of a sudden he knows who Brett Hatley is? How did that happen? He didn't know him 5 seconds ago.
Because of all the stupid shit he's been saying.
Loses.
Oh, my God.
And then John just walked off. I don't know where he went.
He did.
Well, yeah, I don't know what. Does anybody know?
We're not talking about. We don't talk about stuff like that. We don't do that kind of show. Go over to the Shuli Network for that. EGN, $20 TV. This is for you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, he's back.
He went to go get another Coors.
I'm back.
Wait, is that a Coors?
Coors.
Yeah, he held up like 2 of the cans. So John's pretty hammered.
What the fuck is a piazza anyway?
Mike Piazza.
Piazza, they cut.
What is a what?
A piazza, a Mike Piazza, which is a slang for homosexual.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I learn something new every day.
There's been some allegations against that guy.
Yeah, I didn't know it's jumped into the vernacular where that's what it means.
In that world.
Carl's got a smile on his
That's how
face.
pleased he is. But I can still
We
see
don't
him.
have to clash to get to
I can
Carl.
still see him on Misery Loves Company. So confused.
Carl?
I hopped right over, guys. I bailed on my first ever interview with Stuttering John.
Did you want to bail? Was it time to bail?
I could talk to John all day long, but I want to talk to you guys because Roseanne Barr has a new podcast, and we have to get to that. This is also a very important thing that's going
What the hell was going on over there?
on Misery Loves Company.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so proud of John. First off, he looks terrible. His complexion is so white. It's bizarre looking. I don't think he sees the sun much.
And he was drinking Coors.
Lots
Oh,
of
he was drinking Michelob Ultras.
Oh, that's
actually.
what it
Was he
was.
drinking
Okay.
Ultras? Okay.
Slimming down.
But he was drinking.
Yes.
It's summer. What do you want him to do?
And now Shuli is who he is really livid with. Why is Shuli not on there?
Because Kevin Brennan didn't send him the link. I think Shuli wanted to be on there today. Shuli called me today, and I have a feeling that, we were supposed to have John on both with me and Shuli last night, and John decided to, not do that, which was unfortunate. So I'm glad that he did MLC today. I was really proud of him for sticking there for the whole, 2 hours.
What was being discussed?
Oh, I had a whole lot of questions for him. A lot of the lies over the years that he's had. He was explaining how successful he is and how great he is at teaching. Because we talked about how he wouldn't admit he was a teacher at first. He wouldn't admit he was an Uber driver. He admitted that he was embarrassed by these things.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, we know that. But it's at least he admitted it.
Yeah.
I'll give him some points for that.
There were a few times when it got heated. The exchanges got heated. But for the most part, it was mostly cordial. It was a good conversation. I was glad to finally talk to him.
We had you up on the screen, and mostly I saw John looking very sour and you smiling.
That's a good way to sum up the conversation.
He was the one being paid the money. You're doing it for free. Why does he look so sour?
Well, also, the way he was ragging on me, he thinks that I'm gay because I don't have children, which I thought was odd. I don't know how he makes that connection.
That's a lot of gay people have kids now, too. So
That's what I said. I go, gay guys do have children. You know that, right? Weird.
Did he pile into Shuli much?
Oh, yeah, there was a ton of Shuli talk, yes.
And what is his gripe with Shuli other than doing 120 episodes ragging on John?
Well, he asked me straight up. He goes, Karl, you're a fan of the Howard Stern Show. I bet you can name 10 great moments that I had on the Stern Show. You can't even name 3 that Shuli had. So I rattled off 3 right away. And it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. So that didn't work out well for him.
Oh boy. Well, I'm kind of curious to watch it myself, but
Then he tried to rag on Bob Levy for driving for Uber, and Bob had a horrible car accident that left him crippled. He wasn't able to walk, and so just to make ends meet, he was driving for Uber. And Bob goes through this whole story, and John just like, "Oh, sorry to hear that." And I was like, I guess that didn't work out well for you, did it, John? Trying to get over on him.
does everyone that was on that show hate each other, or were there actually pockets of people that like each other? Because it sounds like John's mad at everyone in that show, or not at Kevin.
Yeah, no, it seemed like he was cool with Kevin. But yeah, John's an angry guy. Let's be honest. Things aren't working out as well for him as they used to.
That's true.
I love that the whole time you were talking to him, too, you had that picture of him behind you. Because it looked exactly like his background, because there's like a cityscape behind the drawing, and that was the background he chose today, was to make it look like he's got some fancy apartment.
Troy Smith's
Yeah.
print.
Yeah, that was funny. He goes, Karl, I know you're a huge fan of mine. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Look right behind me. I got a portrait of you. I was like, wow.
Were the super chats coming strong?
Oh, yeah. There was Dabblers Anonymous put up $400 immediately. Right out of the gate.
Whoa. Wow.
And we were trying to tell him, and Kevin Brennan was saying this, and I was saying this. John's got to come back to the internet. He would make so much money. He's leaving money on the table by not doing a show.
Well, except I'm not sure if he would make money or if you guys would make more money. Why would people?
We'd all make some money. Let's be honest.
I don't think he'd make much money. I can't imagine. No, because you guys break his show down to its worst parts and the funniest parts, and then you play him. Why would I watch his whole show? I can't do that.
Well, imagine if you could go on his show live and for $5 or $10 rip him out and say something that's going to piss him off. Like, that's fun. People are going to do that.
I think to some degree, but I don't know. I'm not sure there's really a big future in John, but it's gone this long.
I can't believe this. There's a Stuttering John economy that all these people make radio. That'll be his legacy.
It really is.
Oh, so guys, right just now I go, all right, I got to go do the Drew and Mike show. I'm gonna bail, but it was great to talk to you, John. And he goes, yeah, run away scared. I go, John, hey, come on my show anytime, buddy. There's an open invitation. I'll do this anytime with you. What are you talking about? We were just talking for an hour and 45 minutes straight, and he's like, oh, you're running away scared.
I win. You left first.
Last of a man standing.
Well, you sent me the Roseanne Barr. I left my notes upstairs, by the way, but I got to tell you, that show, Karl, it's exhausting. I was probably 12 minutes in when I was going, how much time is left? Is it like, am I halfway through? And it was 12 minutes in. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So Roseanne Barr has a brand new podcast, the Roseanne Barr Podcast, and she does it with her son, Jake Pentland. And I have to say that most of the clips I pulled were from the first 15 minutes or so, because then it gets real political and a little weird, and so it kind of got boring. And I was like, this isn't fun to talk about, because you know how Roseanne is.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I don't understand how she has the time to pull all those conspiracy theories together. She's talking about so many different things. Like, who has time for this? Honestly.
Wow. Since you brought that up, let's start with hot boxing with Mike Tyson, because as I'm watching Roseanne Barr, I see on my suggestion side of YouTube, hey, Roseanne Barr was on Mike Tyson's show 4 years ago. I was like, oh, let me check that out. That sounds pretty cool. So if you want, I would love for you to play track number 17. Roseanne Barr is talking about the head of the Illuminati.
Oh, cool.
And this is one of those things that I would like to know the answer. Does anyone know who's actually controlling the world? Because I don't.
I don't either, Karl. That's what I kept saying. I wonder if anything she's saying is true, but who could possibly answer any of her theories or questions?
She seems to know who's running the world, and she asked Mike if he knows.
The Rockefellers, the Rothschilds.
What are they kings of?
Are they still in
They don't. They work for kings.
Are they
Let's
still in
be real. They work for the kings.
The Masons, the Skulls.
Everybody works for the king of kings.
Who is that?
You take a look and tell me.
That God, Jesus, tell me.
I don't know.
It's a human.
Yeah.
It's a human who has a lot of power, more power than anybody else on this planet.
Who's that?
Well, you're going to have to figure that out. I'm not going to say shit.
Oh, man, come
You
on.
know who it is.
Come on, Roseanne.
Come on, just say a prayer. I'm going to say a prayer for you that God will give you the words, and you'll know.
Man, I want to know so bad now.
You know mine.
No, I know.
Mine.
I love Mike.
Is she referring to the Pope?
I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. That was so funny that Tyson's like, oh, come on. I want to know. Just tell us.
But Karl, for all the incredible things she does know, like, for example, when JFK was assassinated, she says that's when the U.S. government was overthrown. It's like, what?
Oh.
Really? So who's running? What's going on? But for all those incredible claims she makes, she doesn't know how old her co-host's son is.
Oh, gosh, let's get right into that. my track number 2, this is so funny. They're introducing the show. They're explaining what this is going to be. This is episode number 1, and she doesn't seem to know her son very well.
Well, here I am with my oldest son, who's, I think he's 40. I can't remember, 43, I think he is. Jake Pentland.
44, but that's the closest you've ever gotten.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed.
Wow.
You're usually off by
1976, I remember that.
1978.
Yeah.
That's more like
But then she got his birth weight right, or at least he let it slide.
Well, nobody knows their birth weight, so she just throws out, you were a big boy, you were 9 pounds, 4 ounces. He's just like, okay, sure, go if you say so. and I didn't pull this clip because I thought it was too gross, but she goes, yeah, pushing you out was hard. My ass fell out. I don't want to think about Roseanne's ass falling out.
Gross.
I've never once Googled Roseanne Barr pink sock. Not something I want to see.
I don't think Google would allow that. They would bury it.
I'd be putting time out. Yeah.
But Jake doesn't know what's going on any more than she does, generally speaking. I guess you didn't get that far in, but if you sit there for 45 minutes and watch this thing, which you didn't last that long, did you, Karl?
I made it through most of the way through, yeah.
Oh, you did? Did you make it through the part where she's talking about this person who was protesting Sybil Shepherd wearing fur?
Oh no, I didn't get that far. Explain.
Yeah, and she's talking about this no-lipped cunt, this stupid bitch. How dare she think that she can tell Sybil Shepherd if she should wear fur or not with 14 of her friends on her lawn making a bunch of noise while her friends are home. And Jake says, I don't know who the hell you're talking about. And Roseanne says, some woman. And then she goes on to trash her some more, but we never know who it is.
Huh.
Well, that is interesting because I feel like there's a little bit of dementia going on. Drew and I talked earlier on the phone today, and there's something going on with Roseanne. Now, Roseanne has always been very sharp. She might be crazy, but she's a fun crazy. She's the kind of crazy we can get behind. We all liked the Roseanne show when it was on. We all enjoyed her comedy. Now, my track number 3, this is at the beginning of the show. This is a little bit of a longer clip, but I think this is where we'll see that she's like losing it, and this might make for a fun podcast.
We're going to get into a lot of stuff, and I also think it's really important that we mention, well, I'll let you do it since you're the host, but that we are going to do this every week, every Thursday. We're going to have guests. Sometimes we'll have comedians, sometimes it'll be political, sometimes it'll be heavy, sometimes it'll be wacky. Stick with us every week.
Wacky. Theo Vaughn called me Wacky Onassis. I did his show. It's just showing today, I think, or yesterday.
Yeah, it aired yesterday.
And I love he called me Wacky Onassis. Isn't that great?
I will update the graphic for Wacky Onassis. And Theo is going to be coming on our show in the near future.
How much do I love him and his, as my father said, humor.
Yeah.
My dad used to say humor. He has a great sense of humor. It's like Trump's huge. Some people don't say the H. It's funny how people talk different where you go regional.
Is. Yeah.
Yeah, down here in Texas, they talk different.
What is going on right now? Yes, Roseanne. Some people don't pronounce the H right. Very observant.
I love how that just ran out of steam. She's just talking.
The other thing is, he spent some time insisting that this show's going to really be a real show. It's going to be on every week. I mean, to the point that I felt like this show's going to be on like once every 8 weeks or twice a year, or it's not going to have a schedule. Forget it. You doth protest too much.
Yeah, it's a weird way to start off your first episode saying, no, we have our shit together now.
We're really going to have a show. Really?
We're totally not going to pod fade.
Well, also, if you notice the beginning of that clip that we just played, Jake goes, I'm going to let you say this, but the podcast is going to be political talk. We're going to have guests on. Sometimes we're just going to have banter. It's going to be serious. It's going to be fun. It's like, I thought you were going to let her say that. You're explaining the whole thing. Okay, well.
And the poor guy is trying to keep the show on track, but you can't keep her brain on track. It's impossible.
That's what I mean. Now, track number 4 is this is sad because it's like hanging out with your grandma who's uncomfortable and she's not happy, and you're like, oh, come on, Graham. Let's just smile
get into
for
it, shall we?
the hour that we're hanging out together.
Yeah, let's do. Let me get my sunglasses on.
Yeah, I think the lights are too bright. I'll adjust it for the next episode.
Would you? That'd be great, Jake.
I will. I'm sorry.
Since I told you for 15 years I have a fake eye.
Well,
that when I get too much light in it, I almost have a seizure. I've only told you that for 15 years.
I know, but these are SoftBank lights, so it's.
There ain't nothing soft about it. I feel my one eyeball blinking in and out and hooking up to NASA.
Okay, I will adjust the lights, but for now, can you wear your sunglasses for a little while?
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's get into it.
All right.
She has a fake eye.
Let's keep that tidbit in.
What's a fake eye?
Yeah, I guess she's got a fake eye and she's very sensitive to light. Sorry, Graham.
Wouldn't a fake eye not be sensitive? Wouldn't a fake eye be not sensitive at all?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I was trying to figure that out
like
too.
A glass eye, yeah.
What was that? It was connected to NASA for some reason? Did that make any sense?
None of it makes sense.
No, none of it does.
was a little confused by that. Okay, so one of the things I've learned about Roseanne is that she's obsessed with clothing and clothing that will fit her because she's a bigger gal. And she goes to do, like, after they start the show, she goes into this weird political tirade and then transitions very quickly into my track number 5 that it's out of nowhere.
But anyway, I wanted to talk about Spanx. I mean, Skims. I like Spanx. Are we off of that whole thing with the internet? I mean,
I'm going to call back to it, but if you want to talk about, it's your show. You talk about Skims or Spanx or what is that? Whatever you're wearing, the harness.
Yeah, this is a
gelatinous.
This is what did you call it?
Gelatinous orb that is your.
That is
like,
so rude.
Used to be corsets. What is it?
You told me you weren't going to film below my boobs.
Oh.
You're not getting my waist in here, are you?
Well, I'm getting the bottom of your boob.
But don't get my second row of boobs.
Well, if I go wide shot, I can see the knee, but that's to see the whole room. I don't have to go wide, but
no, just go boobs and above because I don't want everyone to see my couple of spare tires.
Here, I'll zoom in.
Just not Glenn.
Let's just zoom in because this is our first podcast, so we're figuring this out.
It's my first day.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
In fact, there could have been a pre-production meeting or something.
That is she's not going to do a pre-production meeting. She's just going to show up and go.
When they went to the long shot, did that dress look a little too short?
Yeah.
Oh, it's ridiculous.
A lot too short.
She's talking about Skims. Are you guys familiar with Skims?
Yeah, that's the Kardashian thing, right?
Yeah, Kim Kardashian. It's a multi-billion-dollar company, and it's supposed to help bigger gals contain whatever is going on there. And I didn't realize this. Roseanne really is a treat. My track number 6, she's been angry at the size of clothing that people sell for many decades now.
Because, Jake, you know, as a fat woman in Hollywood, I could never find anything to wear. So I'd always go in and pick a fight with all of these boutique owners about why they never had XL or size 16. And I made that my business for several years, including calling out Donna Karen, who herself was a size 16, but she wouldn't make a size 16. So I called her an anti-Semite.
Oh, okay.
Because it's true. Most Jewish women, such as myself, we have had several children, and we have a spare tire, and, you know, maybe we don't have, maybe we have the money, maybe we don't.
So she's calling Donna Karen an anti-Semite because she doesn't carry large clothing, which, by the way, I think is racist right there. You're saying that Jewish women
all
are
Jewish
the
women
are fat?
Yeah, all Jewish. Mm-hmm.
That's weird.
Yeah, no, it's really hard to follow the thinking on quite a few of these theories. Did you get to the, I'm not trying to take us too far off drift, did you get to the NDAA when she brought up the NDAA?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the NDAA? Do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah. Oh, of course. Listen, I actually happen to agree with a lot of what Roseanne says politically. So
I believe in some of it. But she said that it allows presidents to put people away without any charges for life.
Correct.
Is that accurate?
That is accurate. And also the other thing she brings up.
What was that done for? I just was really kind of lost on that.
Well, you know, it was when we were all in hysterics about terrorism.
Terrorists, okay.
So, yeah, we have to protect ourselves. The other thing she brings up, 60 seconds into her first show. Go ahead and play my track 1. We'll get into this.
Well, you know, that's what I'm here for. I don't like bullshit. That was one of my campaign promises when I ran for president in 2012. I will outlaw bullshit. And I did that because Obama passed a law not too far in advance of 2012, where he said it would be legal to, you know, don't we talk about the Smith month thing?
Yeah, but you're not supposed to tell people that.
Well, I do want to get into that, where he said, no, it's okay, use propaganda on the American people. Go ahead, lie to their ass, they're stupid anyway, what the fuck? Let's get rich.
So she's already bringing up the Smith Modernization Act of 2012, 60 seconds into the show. So I'm like, okay, we're in for one here. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what this act is, but it literally said, so for a long time, our government was not allowed to propagandize Americans. They could do that to foreigners all they want. So the Smith Modernization Act said, no, we can do it to Americans now too. So our government's allowed to just lie to us. And I think we've seen that happen over the last few years quite a bit. So she's fired up about that, which is fun.
Yeah, no, she gets into some. There's some really deep places she goes, and some of them are worthy, but it's just a lot to absorb in 60 minutes. I mean, honestly, I wish there was a theme. I wish she'd stick to one theme and sort of go through it and dissect it a little bit. But she just goes from here to there to everywhere.
Well, she does have some good political takes, and my track number 9, I have to say, this is a hot take.
The left is an idiot. The right is an idiot. Everybody else is a fucking moron, except me. And I am just tired, sick and tired of people stealing all my shit, stealing all my ideas, my efforts, my groundbreaking bravery and courage to do it.
Boom! Hot take! I always like someone, this is kind of like the Opie's political take. He's like, you know what? I don't like the right or the left. I think all these politicians are bad news.
Yeah.
Like, all right, that's
what a hot take.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for her.
But let's find out how she got there. So I played you the clip where she said that she was fighting with these boutique owners for not carrying XLs and size 16s. And so apparently this was part of her MO, track number 7, where she's harassing all these businesses.
How many businesses did I harass? And then I went on this junction about pleading with fashion designers to make larger sizes into the X and X1.
Well, let's.
And they fucked me over, of course, stole my ideas, of course, and now everybody does it, of course. And what did I get, Jake? Not one goddamn dime, did I? I did all the work.
Poor Jake.
I took all the flack, and everybody else got paid.
Oh, how did Jake respond to that?
She invented larger clothing for larger women.
Yeah,
you know,
I don't remember that. This whole thing about everybody steals my great ideas, we've heard all that before on another show, and it just, I hate when people say that. Well, then why don't you do something? Why don't you protect your ideas?
Drew, I'll be honest. There's part of me that says, is Roseanne in on the joke here? She is a funny person. Is she? I think she's actually complaining. Because she's talking about fighting these people back in like the 80s and 90s. So I think she actually is complaining. But then I'm like, is she joking? I don't know.
I don't remember anything about her going to bat for large-sized women other than just that, you know, that they can be funny.
Well, this is hilarious. My track number 8. You're going to like this one.
That pisses me off about big, fat fucking Lizzo being so proud of herself. Bitch, I laid the groundwork for you, and you've never even said thank you. I was the one that they wrote all the shit about. Every fat joke in the world called me a cow and a pig. Even in Time and Newsweek, they called me a cow and a fat pig. And, you know, now they're talking about fat acceptance. Why don't you all kiss my fat accepting ass? I did the work, bitch.
That's what I mean. When she goes up on a rant like that, I'm like, okay, I think she's joking. I'm pretty sure. Maybe she does want Lizzo to give her, to thank her for that. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think Lizzo feels that her fat is being that well accepted either. I'm not sure Roseanne is that part right.
Yeah, that's a good point.
She's getting a lot of shit.
She's like, I was fat before it was cool.
Did Newsweek call her a cow? I don't remember that either.
Probably.
Maybe they did.
Why did she lose all her weight then? Because she's a lot thinner now than she was back then.
True.
Wow. I think that she's fooling you by wearing those Skims.
Oh, the Skims. You're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Spanx. Yeah. Or
That's how
both.
she's getting one over on you. Now, this got me very confused. I'm sorry, we're going to go back to political talk, but this one I didn't understand. We're talking about Obama, talking about Obama's presidency and all the terrible things that he did as the president. My track number 10. Try to figure this one out.
And I mean, I think that he is the personification of the fact that America is as racist as you fear.
Yeah.
Because he can do anything. He can kill people. He can drone people at a wedding, and they'll let him off the hook. Because they say, well, he's America's first black president. It's really ugly, really, really ugly. And America's going to have to deal with its racism sooner or later.
So I guess I don't know what racism means. Because they're like, he's a black president, so they let him get away with anything he wants. Everyone just celebrates him. Like, that's not what racism is.
Yeah,
is it?
she's referring to his racism. It was the way I took that.
Well, racism would be the opposite. Everything he did would be wrong.
Yeah, that's my thought.
Yeah.
Unless we're trying to overcorrect, and that's what she's complaining about. I'm wildly confused. She needs to explain it. And her son's just like, yep,
I know he did throw you in there. I feel bad for that kid, man.
Well, what's pretty clear to me, though, is that she does not like Obama.
Right.
She does like Trump. And when she was going off on Obama, she implied that the Bush and Obama administrations were really more like one administration, the Bush-Obama. And I'm like, no, they're not.
I agree.
Well, I actually agree with her when it comes to the war efforts,
yeah.
our foreign policy.
Well,
it just continued through Obama. And that's actually the point she was making right there, that Obama is the first president to actually order the murder of U.S. citizens without a trial.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of them was minor. And no one talks about that. It was like, oh, yeah, Obama was great. Like, well, hold on a second. There was some weird shit. We did bomb like hospitals and weddings. There were some weird drone strikes going on.
But we didn't care, though, because that citizen was John Walker Lind, right? Or Adam Gahan, or who, I can't remember, the two American Taliban. So it's like, yeah, fuck it. Even though it did, I think, kill some American contractors.
Well, listen, I'm not a fan of any of our foreign policy over the last 50 years. So
I got a hot take for you. They're all bad. All of them.
It's all bad. But if you play my track 11, this kind of gets into the fact they're talking about George W. Bush is a war criminal. And so what she's saying here is that, yeah, we do this nation building thing because we want to put a KFC on every corner in these other countries.
And a banana republic.
And banana republic. So there's a great kicker on this one.
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
No, you.
They got Popeyes now too, so they'll have freedom of choice in there. And the women will have. They'll be able to be pro-choice too with the Kentucky Fried or the Popeyes chicken over there. Pro-choice for women too.
So
Banana Republic or Navy. What's that one called? The Great Navy Store.
Old Navy.
Yeah, I love that store.
Yeah, no.
They go up to the size 24.
So that cracked me up. She's like, I love Old Navy because they go up to size 24.
It all goes back to that.
Yeah. As they're talking about how he's a war criminal and all this crazy shit, and then she's like, I like Old Navy. That place is cool. Okay. Weird.
I remember when all that stuff went down with ABC. I don't know if you guys remember Bill Maher's take on it about how, look, this woman, he's like, I know her, I've known her for a long time. She's mentally ill. Can we stop putting her on TV? I'm like, really? Is that known that she's mentally ill? And you know what? No one's putting her on there. She's doing it herself. So.
Yeah,
well, she's crazy. Is that the same as mentally ill? I don't know.
Exactly. You're not allowed to say that, but yeah.
She's always been pretty crazy, but her big objection was that she hired writers from all over the place. She was not somebody who just hired white men. She was very progressive in that regard. But, you know, she did make that flub, which was reacted to very swiftly. And I mean, I've never seen a show blow up so fast.
Oh, that tweet that she put out?
Yeah.
And maybe I'll get canceled for saying this, but I mean, there were similarities there, right? Am I crazy? I know that because there's a racist and she yelled, I thought she was white. I thought the bitch was white. But there were some similarities there.
It was over before, but by the time she got around to saying that, Carl, it was over. It was done.
I know.
It didn't matter.
Bitch was white!
Oh, wow.
That was crazy. And by the way, her friends were not very good friends. They weren't very comforting, helpful. They were like, oh, my God. I mean, everyone on that cast and all, it was really.
Well, remember,
and then they continued the show without her, too. It's like, that's her show. But, okay, I guess it's the Connors now. Okay.
You know who else got in trouble for talking about Planet of the Apes is Joe Rogan. I would say, like, let's just not talk about Planet of the Apes at all. Let's just pretend it doesn't exist.
Well,
it's not going to go well for
she
you.
says the people who say that there is a comparison there, they're the racists. She said that twice on the show. So,
All right, so track number 12, I just like the way that she said this. Of course, she's talking about pronouns, which is always a big topic for her.
Oh, shit, hang on.
No worries.
Pronouns? Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
We're under threat of annihilation, you motherfuckers. Why don't you wake up?
And the reason why I gave you that is because her going, pronouns, I thought that'd be a good drop for you guys. Playoffs? Pronouns?
oh, boy.
All right. So let's skip ahead to 4 years ago when she was on with Mike Tyson and they're smoking joints and they're having a good time. And she's talking to the co-host of the show. And the co-host's mother, I'm sorry, his grandmother is Estelle Parsons, the actor. So she knows that person. And it's funny because, again, this ties back into Roseanne getting large clothing. That seems to be the most important thing to her. My track 13.
Your grandma's Estelle Parsons.
Yeah.
The greatest.
Thank you.
And your mom's Abby that I worked with when she had a magazine for big size women.
Yes, Mode.
I stole all the clothes.
Hey, that's what you got to do.
She didn't report me, so I liked her a lot more too.
Yeah.
I liked your mom. She had a plus size magazine, and I stole the clothes.
That's so weird.
She would be the most horrible guest. I would not know what to do with her as a host. It would just be horrifying.
Well, imagine if you were as dumb as Mike Tyson and you had to deal with her. It's insane.
No, I mean, I sympathize. Every time she opens her mouth, I sympathize for the other people in the room. Like, what the fuck are you going to say? You going to agree with her?
Right. So she starts talking about with them how she ran for president in 2012. And it's funny because I honestly don't remember that. Do you guys
I don't
remember
either. No, I was going to say, I do not remember that at all.
She acts like she was a front runner or something. Like, we're idiots. Not remembering that she ran for president by track 14.
When I ran for president in 2012, you know, on the Peace and Freedom Party.
You ran for president?
Yeah. Way to stay on top of shit, buddy. I thought you knew everything I did.
What the fuck?
You stopped listening to me at some point, I guess.
That would have been like, tell me that.
Oh, I've never told nobody. Okay. It was the biggest double, triple millionth mind fuck anyone could ever walk through and still retain a soul.
Was she in a primary? I mean,
I know, I was going to ask, was there a debate or something? What is she talking about?
I don't know. I feel like I forgot something every time I hear her say something.
The fact that she's calling out Mike Tyson, she's like, you don't remember me running for president? I'm like, Mike, I'm with you on this one, buddy.
Absolutely.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad about that. And so
I don't remember that party either. I don't remember that political party at all either. Was it the Peace and
Love or
Equity
Peace
Party?
and Freedom Party.
Peace and Freedom Party. Can you look that up, Brandon?
I did.
Apparently, it came out of the Black Caucus in San Francisco. Yeah, she went into the whole history of it. I didn't know about any of that stuff. Not that I'm paying that much attention.
Maybe I voted for her. I don't know.
Oh, so, she replaced Ralph Nader as the head of that party. Ralph Nader.
Okay. Don't remember seeing her on election night getting any votes.
I've heard of Ralph Nader.
Yeah.
He used to
I remember that he ran for president.
Sure he did.
No, I remember that, not Roseanne. She's taking that party down.
Yeah. So the co-host, Eben Britton, do you guys know who this guy is?
No.
Negative. Did he run for president?
He was a offensive lineman for the Bears and also the Jaguars. So that's why he's on with Tyson, because he's also a professional athlete. And he's kind of a dummy, but I guess you'd expect that from an offensive lineman. Listen to the question. So now that they know that she ran for president, listen to how he asks this question. My track number 16.
What were your running points?
End the war on drugs.
Nice.
Legalize. Audit the Federal Reserve, which I'm so happy to see there's rumblings that our president might be considering that. And they're incredible papers.
You think so?
Oh, I don't think any of them are credible. I think they're all doling out. Like they took a great big old thing like when you make pizza and you roll it, you know, and then like you cut it in quarters. Papa John's gets this and Domino's gets that. You know, it's all just turf.
Wait, what?
What are you talking about?
I feel like she mixed a couple analogies there, like a pie graph with making a pizza and eating a pizza and rolling out dough.
Well, yeah, she said rolling a pizza and then cutting it in quarters.
But then why would Domino's get parred and Papa John's get parred?
I was feeling bad for Mike Tyson there because you see he's just like, oh. Okay.
Exactly. Every time she talks, I feel bad for everyone in the room. Because what are you going to say?
Running points. That's a great line.
It's a good question. I just have one more clip on here, and I have some very good news for Mike Tyson. So my track number 15, he explains he does not want to be the smartest person in the room.
Success.
I love to have somebody smarter than me in the room. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room.
That's the best.
I don't want anyone their life to
That's
depend
the
on me.
difference. I do. I dig it because I know it's true. I don't want it to be true.
The smartest woman in the
But I read the Bible, you know, and stuff comes out of the Bible for me.
Tell us about
What do you think about that, buddy boy?
I think that's pretty cool.
I like that.
Roseanne just declared she's the smartest person in the room because she reads the Bible.
I want to know where all these things get in her head, because honestly, what is she reading? What is she watching?
The Bible.
Well, the Bible's
probably
one
some Alex
thing, but
Jones, I would guess.
Pardon me?
Some Alex Jones might be a good starting point if you want to figure out what she's talking about.
Yeah, no, because I saw the people in the comments on YouTube who were like, oh my God, finally someone knows exactly how it works. I mean, these people were absolutely delighted with her performance. She was right about everything. And so then I'm scratching my head going, God, am I not reading enough? Am I reading the wrong things? It's confusing when someone agrees with that. And everyone did in the comment. Everyone loved everything she said.
That's the nice thing about YouTube. I don't know if you guys have experienced this, but so I have a subreddit. I'm on Twitter. We have a Discord server. And for some reason, YouTube is overwhelmingly positive. I don't know if it's the algorithm. I don't know if just like people have to actually click on it and watch it, so they might already be fans to begin with. But it's shocking how positive people are on YouTube compared to other platforms.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I notice when people come outside of our crowd for our stuff on YouTube, they're not always quite so nice. But generally, yeah, it is. And you're right. I think what you said is true. People go to where they want to go. And if they end up in the wrong place, they might not be happy, but normally they are.
If they're Crowder fans, maybe not so much. But yeah, for the most part.
You're not kidding.
They're usually pretty good about it.
So, Karl, when is your next show?
What do you mean? Who are these podcasts?
Who are these podcasts? Are you gonna be clipping the Kevin show?
Oh gosh, I mean, I'm gonna have to for sure because we got John talking a lot today, and he hasn't talked on the internet since November. So yeah, we're excited about that. But I'm doing a show tomorrow, like I always do on Wednesday. So anyone who's on the Patreon can watch us do it live, or I'll get it out Thursday morning if you want to hear the audio version of it. So I'm on my regular schedule. We just put out Rude Tales of Magic, which was this bizarre, acted out, improvised, advanced D&D show that these people do, which is insane to me. But what I'm going to be doing on the show this week is Tiger Belly.
Oh, Bobby Lee.
Bobby Lee with Kalila. And Kalila, she is becoming, and now your audience might know what this means, the female Brendan Schaub.
Oh, really?
People are starting to realize that maybe there's not a lot of talent there, but there sure is a lot of exposure of this woman.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I kind of wanted, we did Tiger Belly years ago. I'm like, maybe I need to revisit it because when we did it, her and Bobby were dating.
Oh,
and they
okay.
did the show together. Now they've broken up and they're still doing the show together. So I kind of want to see what the difference is.
Huh. So he obviously still believes in her on the show, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. And she does this other show called Trash Tuesday that we reviewed recently. And it's her and these 3 other women who are in show business. And that was unlistenable. It was so bad.
Do you like his show? I mean, if she wasn't on it, would you like it?
I've never really watched it. I know people like Bad Friends, the show he does with...
I don't get that at
Andrews.
all. Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard Bobby Lee a lot on the Opie and Anthony show back in the day. I never really got him. I wasn't a Mad TV guy. So I don't really know why people like Bobby Lee. I know he's a lot of high energy and he has wacky antics.
Oh, like Robin Williams type.
Yeah, a lot of high energy, and you go, I guess this is entertaining. The guy keeps talking and moving his body, so there's something going on.
I'm not a big wacky antics person, and I don't care how many jokes you tell per minute. I mean, whether it's the most, at least I just like them to be funny. So sometimes,
by the way, that's a good name for a podcast, the Wacky Antics Show.
It is really good.
People tuning in for that. But you're right though, Drew. I can't wait to go back because I was in the moments talking to Stuttering John. I can't wait to go back and rewatch it, and I'm sure we'll be pulling clips and talking about it for weeks to come. Because it was really amazing. My big question to John was, will you come back? Can you please come back? And he said no. He said,
he did.
Back.
I am an educator now.
What's the main reason he won't come back? Because he doesn't want to be humiliated anymore?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the show doesn't make any money. That's the other reason.
That's the thing. When he was doing his show, he was doing that political show that was a bore fest where he would just listen to
terrible. No, the worst.
Yeah, just go on and on and on. But if he did a show that was more like Kevin Brennan's show, Misery Loves Company, where it was literally the super chats are the focus of the show, I think he could do very well. He would have to address a lot of his haters, but isn't that what you want to do, is make money off the people that don't like you? That's the ultimate revenge.
Yeah, I don't know. I really sort of felt like him going off the air was the right thing to do. If I were him, like maybe he got some good advice. But I mean, I'm delighted when he does stuff because I know it means more fun for me. And it is a little cottage industry. It's a real industry. Stuttering John being transformed. But
it was huge in the end of last year. And of course, you know, we pulled DabbleCon together. Because of it, we had a live show celebrating Stuttering John with multiple shows and a whole award ceremony. So, yeah, I mean, he was a big deal for a while there.
But the original show was just so hard to watch. I mean, it was just bad. There wasn't that much of him in it either. It was always the guest going on and on and on, and John just going, yeah, right.
Hey, can I bring up something? I was listening to your show from, I think it was yesterday, where you were playing a lot of that live show. The rock show.
Glastonbury.
Oh, yeah.
And you guys were commenting, how is it possible? There's 200,000 people there, whatever it was. They all know all the lyrics to all the songs.
No, that's who they cut to.
Yeah.
Can I answer that question?
Sure.
Can I tell you guys why that is?
Okay.
This seems obvious, so I'm not sure if you guys are just like, yeah, no shit, Karl. But what happens when you go to a festival like that is like whatever band that you like, you push yourself to the front of the crowd for that show. It's not the same people in the front row for the entire time.
What?
It's different people
Karl,
trying to get it out.
No.
I don't know.
I watched that whole crowd that whole time. I don't think they ever moved.
Karl, I love a lot of bands. I don't know the words to all their songs. I'm not a words guy, I guess, so maybe I'm just ignorant.
If you were like Brandon and loved the Foo Fighters, then you would have been up in the front row singing along to every song.
I wouldn't be singing along to every song, even if I knew all the lyrics, but I generally don't.
What if you were feeling the music?
Yeah, what if you're at Steely Dan?
Maybe to some degree, but honestly, I just don't remember words that easily. So it looks incredible to me.
I don't either. It's hard to remember words.
I'll tell you this, I'm a huge Ween fan, as I've mentioned many times. And I love Ween, but I hate their fans. Because when you go to their shows, Aaron Freeman, the lead singer, has an amazing voice. And I want to hear him sing the songs. And instead I have to hear every asshole next to me screaming into my ear. And I'm like, shut the fuck. I did not pay $50 to hear you sing Ween songs, asshole.
That's why I like the Isotopes, because there is no singer, so nobody can sing along.
There you go.
And that's why I sit in the crowd and I just go, I sing along with the guitar, when the guitar plays the words.
You can play air drums, you can play air guitars, a lot of ways to enjoy the Isotopes.
I had two girls behind me at an Elton John concert who were singing really loud the whole show, and it was terrible. And I was like, you know, I wish I was a more confrontational person. I'd do something about this. Right as I was thinking that, somebody else was like, would you shut up? And they had a brief argument, and then they shut up.
You just get shushed for talking during the show.
That's true.
Shut the fuck up.
I have been shushed.
You don't turn around and just give a look, because I'm the king of the look. I'll give the hairy eyeball, like, really?
Well, I would have eventually, because I would have wanted to see what these people looked like. But I don't know. They could be with some big dude or something. The way it worked out was fine.
Okay,
good. Someone else took care of it.
Yes. My
favorite
way.
Your battle for you. Good. I'm glad it worked out.
All right, who are these podcasts? September the 15th at the Magic Bag. Tickets are available, but they're going, so you might want to jump on that. And
that's going to be a blast. So it's Friday, September 15th. WATPlive.com is where you can get your tickets. And Drew is going to hobble there.
Yeah.
He has promised me.
For sure.
Going to make it. So that's going to be a really fun time. And of course, the Golden Voice. Where else are you going to see the Golden Voice live?
If we can pay him.
If we can pay him, yes. We paid an inactive email somehow that we were given. So we're on to the active email. I don't understand. How does an email go inactive? I'm not aware of that.
It doesn't. Well, I think I don't want to get into it, but I don't think it was his choice to make it inactive.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. And who does that? Why does someone?
Maybe the financial service that sends completes the connection.
Well, we're still trying. We are. I've gone much farther to make this work than I ever imagined I would. But I don't think it's impossible. We'll see.
All right. I have confidence in you, buddy. I know you can.
I'm trying. Thanks, Karl. See you next time.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. WhoAreThese.com is where you can go to find all the stuff that I'm up to. And we're going to do Who Are These Socials Wednesday night at 8 p.m. because my buddy Blind Mike's going to be out of town on Thursday when we normally do it. So tune in for that, please.
Okay, I will. Love it.
All right.
See you, Karl.
See you. Bye. All right. I'm looking forward to seeing that show with John cut up because John looked so unhappy.
No.
It was really funny seeing that show while we were doing ours because Karl just had this never-ending grin.
Yeah.
And John looked very unhappy.